Hello there and welcome back to Live on Your Terms. I'm Christina. On this channel I like to do planning videos as a super busy content creator and entrepreneur. I do quarterly planning to show how I plan in a productive way in order to achieve my goals. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you go ahead and get subscribed. I'd love to have you here. I haven't posted on this video in a minute, so I'm excited to get back at it. In today's video, I'm going to be setting up my Q2 2022 quarterly bullet journal planner. If you're not familiar, this is a planner that I design myself, and it's a quarterly planner. It's dated and it's intended to be essentially a quarterly planner that helps you to achieve your goals because it's very focused. It's all about prioritizing our tasks and setting goals and putting in the effort to achieve them. So that's what we're going to do here on today's video. I have my pages of my Q2 planner already printed out here, and they're already hole punched, and then I have my planner cover here that I'm going to be using. So the first thing that I need to do is go ahead and take out my old planner from Q1 and put in my Q2 planner. Now that that's done, let me give you a little flip through of what my Q2 2022 bullet journal planner looks like. So turning the page, I have a spot to put my name and who it belongs to. Then we get into my second quarter at a glance and setting some second quarter goals. This is what we are going to complete on today's video. Then I have a spot for a brain dump, anything that I want to list out about the current quarter or about future quarters, and a spot to put some potential goals for the next quarter. Then we jump right into the months. So of course in the first month of Q2, it's April 2022. I have a little quote page here, and then April at a glance. For April, I can set my top 3 goals and then drill into some major tasks that I need to complete to achieve those goals and any important dates. Then I get right into my 2-page calendar, which you'll see me set up in a later video. And each of the weeks have a week at a glance where I can set goals for the week, and then a weekly review so that I can think about how the week went and then set myself up for success in the next week. Then we have a weekly spread for each week of the quarter. This is where I can break out my tasks by function or category in my business or in my content or whatever the goals are that we're working to accomplish. We can break it out by function. We have a spot to put the focus for the week and any additional notes. And then there's this blank spot here. I like to use it for a little bit of decoration or just writing in something that's super duper important. Each week looks exactly the same, and so does every single month. The only difference is that at the end of the month we have a notes page before we get into the next month. And again, each month is going to look exactly the same. So you'll see the rest of the months, you'll see May and June when I do my planning for those months. But right now we are going to jump right back and go to the beginning of our planner to do second quarter at a glance and my Q2 goals. So I like to do this to show you guys my process for setting goals and getting a lot of things done. So I hope that you enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and flip this like this and start with my second quarter at a glance page. First things first. So with our quarter at a glance, we have each of the months in the quarter. These are dated so that it's nice and easy to see how the months are laid out. We have a spot to put important dates for each of the months and then any planned tasks that are important for the month. This is a spread that I use throughout the quarter. Even throughout individual months, I'll come back and add things or, log things as things change. There's no expectation for us to have every single thing figured out before the month begins. Or before the quarter begins rather, but it's a great way to start pre-planning things based on what we know from the prior quarter and just give ourselves a leg up on the goals that we want to accomplish. So I'm going to start with the month of April. I have some important dates to put in April and just 1 or 2 to put in May or June, but again, those will fill out more as the quarter goes on. So in the month of April, I have on the 4th of April, I have a launch of a new Etsy shop. So I'm what people would call a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I like having more than one business stream, so I do operate in more than one business. And if you haven't seen that in the previous videos, if you're new here, number one, welcome. It's great to have you here. And then number two, I have multiple business streams, which you're going to see in my next sheet here on the next spread. I am starting a new Etsy shop to go along with one of my business streams that I'm working on reviving. It's a business stream that I started back in 2020, but it kind of fell off a little bit, and now I want to get it back on track. So that Etsy shop is called Go Boss Designs. And in that Etsy shop, I'll be selling templates and toolkits and some ebooks for the online entrepreneur like myself. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But I just wanted to kind of explain what that is. Otherwise, you'll be like, okay, that's, that's weird. And it's not weird. It's exciting. So that's what I have coming up on the 4th. The next date that I'll put on here is on the 10th. For one of my other business streams, one of my biggest sources of income for that business stream is a product, and it is a budget planner that I created in that business. So on April 10th, I want to announce the series 2, or the second version of the budget planner. Next, I have the 16th, and on the 16th is when I want to have the new version of the budget planners completely done, designed, and all the files done, ready to go, and the listings ready in draft to be put into the shop for that business stream, so that I know that I will be ready for a seamless launch once they become available and once the early bird season starts. So that is for April 16th. I want the budget planners complete. Then finally, in the month of April, on the 24th, I am working on launching a course for this same business stream that has the budget planner. I'm creating a course, and it is called Budget Basics. And this is when it is going to go live. Right now it is on pre-sale. So folks are able to enroll in it now, even though it's not live yet, for a significant discounted price because it's on pre-sale, and then they'll get access to the course on April 24th. So those are the important dates that I have for the month of April. I'm going to go ahead and list out important dates for May and June. For May, so far I just have one, and that I know of, and it's on May 3rd. And this is when I want the new budget planner to go on sale. So the undated version of this budget planner, as well as an academic year version of the budget planner. So one that goes from July through June of the next year. So that's the only important date that I have so far as it relates to a business for the month of May. More will definitely be added as April goes on. And then I have one to put here for June as well. And that is the launch of the 2023 budget planner during an early bird pricing window. So folks will have access to early bird pricing for about a month or so before it goes into regular seasonal sale once planner season is up and running. So then down here, I want to put any planned tasks that need to get done. So I can also put my Go Boss Designs launch, because that's definitely an important task to complete. It's not just a date to look at, it's a task that needs to get done. I can put announce budget planner, that is an important one. I also need to do a budget planner flip through. And I also have in April my budget method to announce. And that's a method that I've created that goes in accordance with the budget planner and the coaching that I provide. So then in the month of May, in terms of planned tasks, let me think about what I might have there. In May, I want to do like a TikTok challenge. So I'm going to put that. Not sure which ones of my business streams will be participating in that, but I do know I want to do a bit of a TikTok challenge particularly since I know that my early bird release is coming up for my budget planner, so I'm sure that that will be one of the business streams participating, just not sure which other ones. In June, I'll put to launch the early bird pricing. Also in May, I need to put launch the planners. Also in the month of May, I want to do courses, a couple of different courses, and the first one is about using spare change. And then I'll do the next one in the month of June, and that one is all on expense tracking. And those are the major tasks that I have planned so far for my businesses. So then what I want to do is turn over to the second spread, and this is where I am going to lay out my goals for the second quarter. So I like to do top 3 goals for the quarter, then for the month, and then for each individual week. And that's what really helps me to stay focused and get a lot of things done. Not only do I do the goals, I also put any habits that I like to work on, and these are habits that are related to my goals in business, related to my productivity and getting these things done, not habits that are just for my life, if that makes sense. Then I have things to keep track of and any spots for additional notes. So let's go ahead and start with goal number 1. And the way I think of my top 3 goals, since I'm multi-passionate, and this might be helpful for you if you're multi-passionate or if you're working on more than one thing, or even just prioritizing within one business, what I like to do is think about my top 3 goals from the perspective of, well, my first goal is kind of my primary focus, and my second goal is my secondary focus, and my third goal is my tertiary focus, or my third focus, right? Because it's impossible to give 100% to all things at all times. It's just not possible. And if we try to do that, that's when we're going to be burnt out, and that's when we don't achieve success as a multi-passionate entrepreneur or as an entrepreneur in general, right? So that's how I look at it. And I know that for me, if I have my goal number 1, my primary goal for the quarter is what is going to get about 60 to 70% of my attention. My secondary goal is going to get about 20% of my attention, and then 20 to 30% of my attention, and then my tertiary goal is going to get about 10% of my attention. And that's just how I set it up, so that I know that I'm working on the right things, and also know how to manage my time on a day-to-day basis. So my top goal for this quarter in terms of my business streams is going to be my business stream called Your Money on Your Terms. And this is where I offer financial tips and information so that we can live more financially free. It focuses on budgeting and, like I said, the budget planner courses, things like that. And where I provide some coaching as well. So that is my primary focus. Your Money on Your Terms also includes my podcast, which is called Dollar Basics. So I'm just going to put in parentheses because that is an important part of my business for Your Money on Your Terms in terms of traffic and just getting more information out there. My second goal for Q2 is going to be my business that I'm working to revive, which is Go Boss Academy. And that also includes the shop Go Boss Designs, which is a part of Go Boss Academy, where I'll be selling those templates and toolkits for the online entrepreneur. So that is my secondary goal. And then my third goal, my tertiary goal, is my business Happy Savings Co. And Happy Savings Co. was a part of Your Money on Your Terms when I was under a different brand. During Q1 of this year, I decided to split my original brand out into 2 separate areas. So I have Your Money on Your Terms, which is a lot more focused, and it's all about, living financially free and achieving results. And then Happy Savings Co. I enjoy designing savings challenges and creative ones, and there are people who enjoy the creative savings challenges, but the creative ones are not necessarily the ones that are going to get us the results, so I split it out into two. And this is just something that I kind of do more for fun and enjoyment, and it's nice that it still can bring me in income and operate as its own business, but I just decided to separate those two out. But I want to work on building the brand of this a little bit more, since there is some confusion ever since I changed the brand out. So those are my goals in order of priority for Q2. Your Money on Your Terms is first, Go Boss Academy next, and then Happy Savings Co. When I'm looking at my quarterly goals, I set it based on my business streams, because then when I'm looking at my month, I know that there are specific tasks that I want to accomplish per business stream. So my goals typically for the months, goal number 1 is going to be related to my first focus. Goal number 2 will be related to my second one. Goal number 3 to my third one. Sometimes though, goal number 3 is not going to be in a month, just because this one's a small focus. So that's kind of why I set it up like that, and I'll talk about that more when I do my monthly. So now I want to look at the habits that I want to work on for this quarter, and the first one is Pinterest that I want to list here. And with Pinterest, I've been meaning to get on Pinterest for the longest time. I know that it's an amazing way to drive traffic to our businesses, but I really have been stalling on it quite a bit. I dabbled in it for just a couple of days this month in March, and already have gotten my profile up to 100 views per month, or just under 100 views per month, and that's just with a couple of pins. They're the exact same pin, I just repinned them to different boards, so that clearly shows me that there is, you know, the algorithm does support you over there, and it will get you in front of people. So now I just need to figure out how to convert that into traffic to my website. So Pinterest is a huge one, and this is having daily pins going up. So daily pins, and that's going to be particularly important for all of my business streams, honestly, but it's a big part of my strategy for Happy Savings Co., since it's just kind of back there in the background, and for Your Money on Your Terms. So the next one that I want to focus on in terms of habits for Q2 is TikTok. And that's another one I want to do daily. That again is predominantly for this one, which is kind of running in the background, where I could batch a lot of this stuff and just kind of schedule it to go out on a daily basis. But I also want to kind of dabble in TikTok for Go Boss Academy as well. So I'm going to put both of those in here just so that I know what I'm talking about. So Happy Savings Co. and Go Boss Academy. The next one that I want to get back into, over the last couple of weeks I've fallen off course with this, getting up on time. Ever since the time changed, I have been sleeping in a little bit too much, but I want to get back on track with that. And my on time is usually about 3:45 or 4 o'clock a.m. So I'll just put up by 4 a.m. so that I can give myself some grace, but as long as I'm up by 4 a.m., that gives me an opportunity to prioritize my day and have a couple of hours of focused work time before my son gets up, and my days are completely different when I do that versus when I don't. So I want to get back on track with that, and I really don't need to put much of a description there. I know what I'm looking for there. And then I don't have a fourth habit that I'm going to put. I think these are plenty. I don't want to overload myself or set the bar too high, so I think I'm good with these. So next I have things to keep track of. So these are things like metrics or anything like related to business to see how we're doing, right? And these could be more like qualitative things like behaviors as well. So I want to keep track of my YouTube analytics. That's going to be an important one to make sure that I'm growing. I also want to keep track of my Go Boss Designs Etsy stats. I also want to keep track of my podcasts analytics. I also want to keep track of my Pinterest data or analytics, and also TikTok since it's there. And really with TikTok, it's just kind of the growth over there. People say you can grow really well and build an audience pretty quickly over on TikTok. I've dabbled over there and I've definitely seen that views kind of do rack up pretty quickly. It looks like they rack up quicker over on IG Reels right now, Instagram Reels, but we'll see. But I just want to kind of keep an eye on that and see if it actually does allow or lead to conversions on my website and my YouTube channel, see if it helps to increase that as well. And then I actually will put like posting consistency. I want to just make sure that in April I'm super consistent across my content calendar, across all content pieces that I'm putting out, because I know that that's going to have a huge effect on what I accomplish in Q2. So that is it for my quarterly goals. The next thing that I might do, and I'll do this off camera, I might do like a little bit of a brain dump and kind of brainstorm some of my goals for the next quarter. But this is what I do to kind of set myself up for the quarter and just have that clarity. Really, this is all about giving myself clarity to know what I want to focus on, what's the most important, then the next, and really know what it is that I'm hoping to drive or accomplish during the quarter. Again, I like to keep my quarterly goals pretty high level, and then I drill in with each of my months to more specific tasks that I want to accomplish, and then I drill in week over week to keep myself focused and know that I'm working on the right things. I also like to make sure that I'm setting goals that are based on what I have control over. So it's based on specific actions that I can take that are going to, drive more revenue for my business or like build my brand in the direction that I want to go. But I typically don't set goals that are about a certain income level or anything like that I want to achieve, simply because I like to focus on my behavior. So I hope that you enjoyed me laying out my goals for the second quarter here in 2022. In the next video, I am going to do my planning for April, and that's when I will dive in quite a bit deeper into some specific goals and actions and things like that. So make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss that, and stay tuned to see that coming up in the next couple of days. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!